Alright, so I told you guys that I'd bring you in for a reloading video for these Lee 7/8 ounce key drop slugs we cast a while back. I'm not going to give you any load data. I mean, you look that up in your own books. I just load on this Lee load all. It's really cheap, works good. I typically use green dot powder for shot shells, and I like to use Winchester primers. When you're loading these Lee key drop slugs, you can load them with a typical fold crimp. Like there's a finished slug from another loading session, and you can load them into a shot cup just like you would regular shot. But you need to put a nitro card, which is basically just a cardboard spacer between the bottom of the shot cup and the bottom of the slug. And the reason is because this plastic shot cup can get shoved up inside this hollow cavity in the slug, and it'll do all kind of wonky things like tumble through the air and all that. So I just cut these nitro cards out of a piece of cardboard using this homemade punch. It's a piece of pipe, piece of copper pipe. Better if it's steel pipe, but this copper pipe works fine. And I just punch out a whole mess of these nitro cards. I'm not gonna tell you how many I put nitro cards in the base of the shot cup, and I set that aside. Usually I'll get all the wads together with the nitro cards, and then I'll start my loading sequence. But we'll just do this one for now, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So with this Lee load all, you take your little sizing collar, slip it over the shot shell, and then size and deprime. See, that sizing collar is down hard over that brass base of the shot shell, and the primer's been knocked out. Now you can place a new primer and the priming tool. Place the shot shell on there. Knock the sizing collar off. Seat the primer. So, sizing collar comes off. Primer seated. Now you can bring your shot shell in. I have the appropriate measuring disc in here for the powder I'm using. The shot chamber of this Lee load all is just empty. Since I'm not dropping shot, I'm actually going to physically put a slug in. Then you just throw your powder charge. You can hear it kind of clink down into the shell. Come back up. Seat your wad with nitro cards in it down to where it needs to be. Remove it from that loading station, and then manually put the slug down in there. Make sure it's seated the way you like it. All right, you guys can see that. And then go through the fold crimp. So pre-crimp, and then finish crimp. And then there's a finished hand-loaded slug. I usually go like this and take a Sharpie and put a big S on it in a couple places so that I know which holes have slugs in them. That's basically it. So I'm just going to do the rest of them off the camera.